All right, next game on the card: Arizona and Milwaukee fought against Corbin Burnes. Another interesting one: high volatility with Corbin Burnes. His overall numbers are excellent, including his peripherals. But when he's not lights out, he does give up 5. High volatility associated with Burnes. And Brandon Pfaadt, mixed results. He definitely has improved this year. In the beginning of the season, he was not doing so great, and then when they brought him back up, his numbers were significantly improving. Still had his clunkers, but was mixing in a lot more quality starts and excellent starts. Now Arizona is a huge underdog here. I would give a big bullpen edge though to Milwaukee. In this spot, so that's something you have to consider when looking at this line. Milwaukee has a massive favorite, and the total is 8. Man, this is the one I really don't know what to make of this one. I guess the big question is Pfaadt going to come in here and be lights out and match Burnes, goose egg for goose egg. If that happens, then you got to like the under, and in some way, Arizona as a huge dog. I mean, Arizona is a team that can manufacture wins, right? In this new era of baseball, they're great on the base paths, get a lot of stolen bases and manufactured runs that way. So a team like that as a big underdog with a starter who could be just as lights out as the opponent, very, very tempting. This is a huge line. Jose Bouquet, what do you think? It's going to be a pass for you as of now?
I think this is actually my upset pick of the round or whatever we want to call it. I think the Diamondbacks win this series, but I think they lose this first game and then they win the next 2 games. So now it's obviously easy to say because they've got Pfaadt today, who we've talked about plenty of times. So we think next year is probably going to be a good guy to back. This year he kind of struggled at points. He got called back up at the end of the year and pitched pretty well. So I can see why he's getting this opportunity. But I just can't trust a rookie or whatever making his first start in the playoffs. Like, there's only a special amount of guys that can come up in the playoffs as a rookie and do well. Shout out to Shane McClanahan, who literally debuted in the playoffs. But I trust Corbin Burnes. I think this is a low scoring game here, but shockingly enough, market-wise, 51% of the bets, 60% of the money on the over in this game. I think this is also a low-scoring game. 80% of the bets and 61% of the money on the Brewers here. I'm hoping that the Diamondbacks lose this first game. They use this first game as wow, we're in the playoffs. And then the next 2 games, the offense comes through for them. So hopefully after that 1-0 Brewers lead, you can get a good series price on the Diamondbacks. But I expect the Brewers to win. I have nothing here for me betting wise, but I do hope that the Brewers win this game.
Well, Milwaukee, looking at the comment section here, Tori Coker, Milwaukee -1.5. Nate, and right below him, Nate Dogg likes Arizona money line. Billy Friedrich going out on a limb saying Diamondbacks win the series. Justin McElvey likes the D-backs +148. I'm looking at this. I'm thinking, if Pfaadt is okay, maybe his strikeout number is a little bit low. 4.5, I think, is what I was seeing. I'm thinking if they're running him out there, he's probably going to be okay. Not that Arizona is necessarily going to be a good bet at the big line, but I think Pfaadt's going to probably have a decent game and at the very least have a bunch of strikeouts. What do you think, Sharpie, before I hear what you have to say? Pfaadt over 4.5 strikeouts? What do you think?
You're going to get the first time me and you are capping together, and you're going to find out I don't bet on everybody, bro. I only bet on 64 guys, and that's one of the 8 guys today. That's why I was like, this is a day for me to come on, bro. These are 7 of my 8 guys are going. So I'm one of the few guys that don't look to capitalize in every spot throughout the year. I stick to my guys. I look to back them or fade them. And it's paid me well. As when I try to fade guys, it's never really worked for me. Pineda fucking raped me for like a year straight when I tried to fade him. So I've just learned throughout the years that I don't look to fade my guys unless I see they struggle in those spots. So I don't know what Brandon, whatever the hell his name is going to be today, guys. So what he's going to do. Now, I do know what this team has become. And since the trade deadline, they've become one of the hardest teams to strike out. They've got Mark Canha on their team now. They've got Santana. They got guys who take pitches, who run up the count, and who are very good at not missing pitches in the zone, and they don't chase. So they've become a team who doesn't strike out, where at the first half of the year, they were very pick-onable. So don't know about his K-prop there. What I do know is my best bet today is Corbin Burnes over 16.5 outs. This was a joke. Now, if you know me, I bet a lot more outs in the playoffs than I do K props as they lower their outs. And this is where you get the bet on coaching. I love me some Craig Counsell. I love this bet before they said Brandon Woodruff wouldn't be pitching in the playoffs. Now I love it even more. They need this guy to go deep. Freddie Peralta is not the guy to go deep. He would go 6 at most because that guy just throws way too many freaking pitches per at bat. This guy doesn't. Now, one thing that I talk about all the time, guys, is listening to the radio, guys. And I had the radio on the other day when the Diamondbacks clinched by losing to the Astros. I had a bet in that game. The game was over, and the Arizona people were just talking and talking and talking. And they talked about how the oh-so-patient Diamondbacks over the last week when they needed to win, all that went out the window. Like we said at the beginning of the show, numbers don't mean shit when you got to win. And these guys were swinging at everything, making Jose Urquidy look good, Luke Weaver look good. All Luke Weaver and Urquidy both went 6, okay? Nah, guys. Corbin Burnes is going 6 to 8 innings, handing it off to the bullpen. And, easiest bet of the day was Corbin Burnes outs over 16.5.
So you like Burnes outs over, but not his strikeout props over. Like the strikeout prop over.
I like to buckle in and think and not think, take a calculated guess of what hits first. And
right.
That's the way I'll go. I don't like to double up in a game unless it correlates. My book won't let me parlay them together, where some books you can't take the outs with the strikeouts, where that don't correlate with me. Can he get the strikeouts? The numbers say no, but over the last week, they looked bad, guys. They got into the playoffs by losing. All right. They didn't win. They lost.
Yeah, they look truly horrific at the end of the last week or so, like Sharpie's saying. So I agree with that 100%.
Bro, I didn't know that until their announcers said that. Their announcers just said how bad they were swinging at everything. They couldn't hit nothing. How they were so I knew they were patient. I knew you don't run K props versus this team.
Yeah. Again, you can shop around and get much better lines. I'm just going to quote the current Pinnacle line, which is Burnes over 16.5 outs at minus 125. That's the current line at Pinnacle. Yeah, and just looking over Burnes's. I mean it makes sense because Woodruff is out, right? So they're presumably out. But it's just. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Woodruff is gone.
Milwaukee, though, has I would rate them as top 3 bullpen right now, maybe number 1 in all of baseball. So I think they do have the arms to give some innings if they need it. But you think that they're more likely not gonna just send Burnes out there and give him a full start if he's pitching well, which he probably will. Yeah, that's a great. Go ahead.
I think Counsell lets him go. He understands that he needs someone to go deep to make that third game, or even to go early on Peralta if they have to. Yeah. If they can save their pin today, he will.
I'm going to tail that as well. Sharpie. I'm going to tail that. Let's see comments coming in. Let's see. Mally Mal says, I'll never bet an Arizona pitcher in this spot. Gifted Cartel likes the Brewers and the over 7.5. Mally Mal sold me on Brewers first 5. I might tail that as well. What do you probably think that Brewers first 5? But it's going to be a huge line though. That's the big problem. And if Fott, is on his game, then you've got a big favorite line that's in jeopardy. But Mally Mal says he's sold on Brewers first 5. And I think that, and here you go, Gifford Cartel predicting that Fott is going to get smashed. All right. I'm going to tail to Sharpie on that one.